Term's palace reeked of blood. Elf hid a sculpture in her royal bedchamber, and she adored it obsessively. The statue fell dead and silent again. Princess's temper blackened by the day. The head handmaiden stepped forward.
Enchanted things can only be roused by blood sacrifice.
The statue, however, still did not move. Princess's patience finally snapped until it landed on me. Dara lunged at me like I was a lifeline. She slashed at my wrist again, and again in a frenzy.
This bitch must not a virgin. She has defiled the ritual.
And then the impossible happened. The statue, motionless for so long, moved and drew the small wound on her fingertip to its lips.
He has surely mistaken me for you.
Then it crawled to her feet and knelt before her. A bucket of ice-cold water came down over my head. Dara stood over me with a triumphant smile. Princess of the Sun, Elf hid a sculpture in her royal bedchamber, broad-shouldered, narrow-waisted, and unervingly perfect, and she adored it obsessively, spending every waking hour entwined with it. Term's palace reeked of blood. The smell had settled here for a full 3 months, creeping from a ghost of a scent to something so thick and sharp it felt like the very walls had been soaked in it. I knelt on the cold stone floor. No one knew where the statue had come from. One sweltering summer night, it had simply appeared. That night's wind was hot, thick with night blooms, but not enough to cut through Term's palace's atmosphere of decadence. Princess had just dismissed a rotation of valets and lay alone across her wide canopied bed, idly picking at the lacquer on her nails. Then she saw him, a man cold as winter stone, or rather, a statue carved in the shape of a man. He lay bare beside her, his torso long and strong, every line of muscle flowing as though sculpted by a god's own hand, every inch of pale skin flawlessly rendered. The summer heat parched everything it touched, yet he was cold as ice pressed against her skin, producing a sensation both strange and irresistible. Princess could not put him down. She clung to him all night like someone who had found a priceless relic, running her hands over his powerful frame, whispering shameless endearments into his carved ear.
You are extraordinary, better than any of those valets combined. If only you could wake up, I would name you the greatest knight beneath the stars. Be still. Let me look at you properly.
Yet after that night, the statue fell dead and silent again. Princess's temper blackened by the day. She smashed objects of incalculable worth.
Useless! All of you are useless! You cannot even rouse a dead thing!
Princess kicked over the side table beside her. That servant threw herself to the floor.
My princess, mercy! Please, mercy!
Drag her out. 20 strokes.
It was then that Dara, the head handmaiden, stepped forward.
My princess, I have heard that certain enchanted things can only be roused by blood sacrifice. Shall we try?
Princess's eyes sharpened at once.
Oh? Is that true?
Absolutely true. My grandmother told me as a child that some statuary, once they drink living blood, can take mortal form.
Princess was delighted and immediately summoned several young servants. Sharp blades opened their wrists. Crimson blood poured down over the statue's crown.
It's working! It's actually working! Dara, you are invaluable to me. Ask for whatever you wish.
Serving you is all the reward I need, my princess.
The statue, however, still did not move. No matter how much blood was poured over it, it held its vacant, lifeless posture. Princess's patience finally snapped, jabbed her finger at Dara's face.
You told me blood would wake it, so why is it still not moving?
Dara hit the floor in a terrified kowtow, and her frantic gaze swept the hall until it landed on me, standing in the corner. I was nobody then, just a night elf, the lowest servant in the spire, tasked with the dirtiest work, never daring to raise my eyes to anyone. Dara lunged at me like I was a lifeline, seized my wrist in both hands.
This trickle won't fill a cup, let alone feed a statue.
The cut burned, and I locked my teeth shut, terrified of making a single sound that might irritate her further. But Dara was not satisfied. She slashed at my wrist again, and again in a frenzy.
More blood! If that statue doesn't wake, I will flay you alive!
At last, darkness swallowed me, and I felt nothing. In the final instant before I lost consciousness, I felt Dara's boot connect with my ribs.
My princess, I have heard that only the blood of the unbond carries true power. This bitch must not a virgin. She has defiled the ritual.
Then drag her out, kill her.
The guard stepped forward to take me, and then the impossible happened. The statue, motionless for so long, moved. It raised its head slowly, then crawled on hands and knees to Dara's feet. It extended one pale, long-fingered hand, lifted hers as though cradling something precious, and drew the small wound on her fingertip to its lips, tasting it with reverent care. She yanked at her hand.
What are you doing? Let go of me!
Congratulations, my princess. Felicitations.
He has surely sensed your devotion. That is why he has awakened.
It even pressed its lips to the air near her skin. Princess laughed. Her smile was beautiful.
And deeply.
It seems he prefers you.
I have served you since childhood, my princess. I carry your scent. He has surely mistaken me for you.
Princess's gaze dropped to the small cut Dara noticed. She took up the blade and opened a cut across her own wrist. The blood that welled up was licked clean before a second had passed.
I ate from your table this morning, my princess. Your essence has touched me. He is a discerning thing, is he not?
The minutes stretched. The hall held the silence of a held breath. Dara's color drained steadily from her face. She had lost too much blood, settled docilely against Dara's side like a tamed animal. Dara glanced at Princess's expression and murmured carefully,
"Now that you have eaten your fill, go and attend your mistress."
The statue's gaze moved slowly around the hall, and it came to rest on Princess's face. A flash of something like wonder crossed its eyes. Then it crawled to her feet and knelt before her. Dara dragged me along with her. A bucket of ice-cold water came down over my head, blinking slowly open. Dara stood over me with a triumphant smile, looking down from what felt like a great height.
I didn't expect your idea to actually work.
Dara rolled her eyes and kicked me.
Unluck, the statue bleeds for life, and yet your blood did nothing. You're not a virgin anymore, are you, you useless?
Sister, please don't tell anyone. If the princess finds out, I'm finished.
Dara's brow furrowed. Of everyone in Princess's estate, only one person would have dared do such a thing, her fiance, the vile and lecherous Lord Caeris. He had begun as a failed scholar, but his face was made for deception, and his tongue was made for flattery. He had imagined a glittering future, titles, power, a dynasty, but Princess was not a woman who kept her attentions long. Term's palace housed over 100 ballots, every one of them beautiful, gifted, extraordinary. Caeris was not remarkable among them. To stay close to her, he debased himself in every way imaginable. He crawled on his hands and knees so she could use his back as a mounting step. Eventually his patience was rewarded. On a whim, Princess made him her fiance, yet she remained cold to him as ever. She spent her days as she always had. And Caeris, for all his title, was nothing more than furniture. Resentment and bitterness filled him by degrees. During one drunken night, he forced himself on a young and beautiful servant. In the aftermath, he was gripped by terror that Princess would have him killed.
My princess, it was all that creature's doing. She seduced me. I beg you to forgive me just this once.
Princess reclined lazily on her chaise, watching him flounder.
Why are you so frightened? She was only a servant. If you wanted one, I would have given you more.
None of those creatures are worth a toe ring of yours, my princess. You haven't summoned me in so long. I have been dying without you.
108 lustrous pearls scattered across the floor. A few rolled through the open archway.
Then I'll give you the bracelet from my own wrist.